Simon & Schuster Audio presents Gates of Paradise by V.C. Andrews. Read by Arndt. Prologue. For as long as I could remember, the only person I could share my deepest secrets with was Luke Casteel, Jr. It was as if I were truly alive only when he was with me, and in my secret, put-away heart, I knew he felt the same way, even though he had never dared say anything about it. I wanted to look at him, look into his soft, dark sapphire eyes forever and ever, and tell him what I really felt, but the words were forbidden. He was my half-brother. But there was one way I could look continually at him and he at me, without either of us being self-conscious about it or feeling someone would discover our secret. And that was whenever I painted him. He was always a willing subject. With the easel between us and my world of art serving as a window, I could stare closely at his perfectly shaped, high-cheeked, bronze face, and I could capture the way those unruly, jet-black strands of hair always fell over his forehead. Luke had my Aunt Fanny's hair, but my father's deep blue eyes and perfect nose. There was strength in the lines of his mouth and in his sharp, smooth jawline. I couldn't help seeing the clear resemblances to my father, and even to myself. He had the same tall, lean build Daddy had, and kept his shoulders back the same way. The resemblances always saddened me, because they reminded me that Luke wasn't simply my half-brother. He was my illegitimate half-brother, born out of a passionate indiscretion between Daddy and my Aunt Fanny, my mother's sister, something we all understood was best kept unmentioned. We tried to leave it behind us, stuffed away in the shadows, even though we both knew people whispered and gossiped about us in Winnerow. Although my family was the most prominent in Winnerow, we were a very odd family indeed. Luke, Jr. lived with his mother, who had been married twice, once to a man much older who had died, and once to a man much younger who had divorced her. Everyone in Winnerow remembered the court hearing over who would win custody of Mommy's and Aunt Fanny's half-brother Drake, after their father Luke and his new wife Stacy were killed in a car accident. Drake was only about 5 at the time. The argument was settled out of court, with Mommy getting custody and Aunt Fanny getting a lot of money. Drake hated to hear about it, and more than once got into a fight at school when some boy teased him about being bought and paid for. Mother said Drake had her father's temper anyway. He was handsome, muscular, and very athletic, as well as very bright and determined. Now he was a student getting his MBA at Harvard Business College. Even though he was really my uncle, I always thought of him as a big brother.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?